Welcome to Study Loop.
Okay, in order to solve this question, we have to talk about DNA and RNA, okay? If this is your cell, this is going to be your nucleus. In your nucleus, you have the DNA, okay? And the DNA, it has a lot of segments that are called genes, okay? And genes contain all the information for all the phenotypes in a specific animal or person or organism in general, okay? When a gene wants to be expressed, okay, for example, let's suppose that this gene is responsible or is a gene for blue eyes, okay, in a person, okay. So if this gene wants to be expressed, then it is going to develop the process of transcription, okay, and it's going to produce a mRNA that is single stranded. This is going to be the mRNA for blue eyes. Then this mRNA is going to be able to move to the cytoplasm. This is in contrast to the DNA because it is not mobile. Okay, and once in the cytosol, this mRNA is going to get into ribosomes. Okay, here. And in the ribosomes, the process of translation is going to occur. Translation, where a protein is going to be produced. And this protein is going to give the blue eyes to this person. Okay, so this is how practically how the central dogma works. Okay, from DNA to mRNA and then to protein. Now, when let's imagine this is the DNA or the cell of a person, and this is the DNA, okay, and this is the gene. When there is a mutation of this gene that goes for the blue eyes, then as this gene is mutated now or is mutant, then now from the mutation and to the future, to the further replications or transcriptions, it is going to code for a mutant blue eyes mRNA. It is not going to be the same mRNA than here. It is going to be a mutant form of mRNA, and hence it is going to cause a mutant blue eyes protein. Okay, forever, and like from the mutation to the rest of the life of this patient, in this cell at least. Okay, and if this cell replicates, okay, and produces more cells, okay, then these cells are going to have also the same mutation. Okay. However, if there is a mutation here in mRNA, then nothing is going to happen because, well, the gene is going to be normal. However, the mRNA is going to be abnormal, but it can be translated, and well, the protein at some point is going to be degraded. However, when the gene develops transcription again, then it is as it is normal. There is no mutation in this gene. Then it is going to produce normal mRNAs. It is going to continue producing normal mRNAs. There was only one mistake in the process of transcription. So the further proteins that are going to be produced by the gene is going to be normal. Okay, so a mutation in mRNA is not as severe as a mutation in the gene in DNA. Okay, and also mutations in DNA, in genes in DNA, are going to be transmitted to all the cells that originate from this mutant cell. Okay, so let's see at the options. It says a change in DNA on a chromosome affects all proteins made from that gene for the life of the cell. Yeah, this is true because the mutation is already established in the chromosome. Option it says a change in the RNA involved in protein production is short-lived. Okay, this is also true. Let's continue. It says, what is the difference between the effects of the changes in the two types of nucleic acids? It means in DNA and in RNA. Option A says DNA is the genetic material that is passed from parent cells to daughter cells, like this. Okay, in this case, and to future generations. This is correct. Okay, the DNA is what is transmitted from one cell to other cells. Okay, mRNA is not transmitted. Okay, so this option is correct. Let's see option B. Option B says DNA would not affect the individuals as the proteins made are finally altered and modified. Okay, this is not true. RNA would cause harm to the person as the RNA is encoded by the DNA and is not altered. Okay, this has no sense. This is false. Option C says DNA is a genetic material and it is transferred from one generation to another, making use of repair mechanisms for every mutation. Okay, the RNA does not use a repair mechanism. Okay, this is partially true. Okay, because DNA is okay. The part that says that DNA is a genetic material and is transferred from one generation to another is true. Okay, however, it says that it makes use of repair systems or repair mechanisms for every mutation. And this is correct. However, not all mutations are solvable, are going to be solved. Okay, sometimes the mutations are not solved, and this is why mutations occur. Okay, because the repair systems can't correct all the mutations. So this makes this statement false. And the RNA does not use a repair mechanisms, and this is correct. Okay, when you produce or when you do the process of transcription, there is not a proof reading by the enzyme that is responsible of this transcription, that is the RNA polymerase. However, in the process of replication that occurs when a cell wants to produce daughter cells, the enzyme that catalyzes this is the DNA polymerase, and it has a function of proof reading. Okay, so it kind of tries to reparate or to repair mutations. However, not all mutations are going to be solved. So this is false. And finally, option D says DNA, when mutated, makes use of the repair mechanisms and can be repaired, whereas the RNA is not repaired and is transferred in generations. This is false because RNA is not transferred in generations. Option A is correct.